Okay, hi, my name is Ashton Calico, and the technology that I'm going to talk to you about today is the Google Tools. Um, okay, so when I had went onto when I just typed in Google Tools, there were so many results that came up. Um, I mean, there were just so many, and there's even like a drop-down menu to find them all. But if you just go to the Google search engine, you can find all of these. But I wanted to talk about the top 10 that I thought that were going to be really important to use and most beneficial to use in the classroom as a teacher or, as a student. Okay, so the first one is Google Calculator. And to find any of these Google tools, all you have to do is go to the Google search engine and just type in like Google Calculator or Google SketchUp or Google Translate or Google Calendar and so forth. So the Google Calculator. So here's a link to it. I've put a link on every of the slides. But if you just type it in the search engine, it's going to be the first result that pops up when you type it in. So, and I've also provided like screenshots on each slide of just like what the tool looks like. So the Google Calculator is going to be best used for math or science as a way for students to check their answers. Or maybe you're in the upper grades and they're solving, equations with variables in them. This is going to be great to check those as well. The next tool that I want to talk to you about is Google SketchUp. And so this is a tool where you can draw and create 3D objects along with designing architect structures. This is going to be great to use for geometry concepts. Draw out the 3D shapes and play around with surface area and volume, corners, vertices, angles, line segments. This is going to be great for that. The next tool is Google Translate, and I really like this tool because okay, so this is a tool that can translate text. It can translate a website address, or you can copy and paste a whole document in here and it will translate that. And it's not just like English to Spanish. Like, you can do Spanish to French, you can do English to German, you can do Japanese to Russian. It has a lot of languages to pick from on here. But what I like best about this is that this could be just a tremendous help to break those barriers that you might have with your ESL and ELL students and parents. You may have some ESL and ELL students who are just shy and, they don't really like to talk or communicate in your classroom. And if you present this tool to them, you're going to open up a lot to them. And this is just going to be something that they can use to help them along in the classroom until they get adjusted to things. So I tried it out. This is a screenshot of what I did. In English, I put in "Hello, I love summertime" in the left box, and then over here in the right box, that translated that sentence into Spanish for me. So, and you can take it to parent-teacher conferences if maybe your school doesn't have a translator, but there are just important things that you need to tell these parents about. Use Google Translate. The next tool is Google Calendar, and this is an example of just a really, really used calendar. This is from a teacher, and she has where her students are going for certain hours of the day. She has her meetings in there. She has different activities. She put a couple of field trips in there. So this is just a tool that you as a teacher, you can put your daily schedule in there. If you want to put in your daily schedule, send it out to the parents so the parents know, oh, okay, this is the time of the day that they do reading. Oh, look, they're going to PE on this day. They go to music on this day. put in the field trips in there. You can mark your assemblies, mark your after-school meetings so that you can remember when those are. And you can even put in your personal dates to help you remember stuff like that. And also use it as sub-plans. Instead of having to write out a long notebook of sub-plans, use this as sub-plans to let the sub know, okay, here's where we go each hour of the day, and here's where we go each day of the week. The next tool is Google Scholar, and it's a tool that walk through it with your students and teach your students about this, because this is going to be great for them to use so that they always have credible and reliable sources for their essays or their research projects. I wish that in high school I would have had this for some of my things, because most high schoolers, when you first get into that research, you just in your search engine, you're gonna type in the topic that you're doing, like George Washington, and you're gonna probably use the first or second site that comes up, which one of those could be like a blog or a Wikipedia, something like that. But this Google Scholar is going to teach them to always have credible and reliable sources. Okay, so the next tool is Google Docs, and this is just a paperless way for students to complete written assignments. It's very similar to Microsoft Word, except it's free and everything's saved to a cloud. Whoever the owner is, like whoever creates a document first, you can, if you're a student, you can add the teacher's email so that the teacher can go in there and they can make comments or critiques to the essay or whatever it is they're writing up. And then say this is like a group assignment. The owner can also go in and add multiple students' emails. And a good thing about this is that, like the picture to the left, you have Emily Dickinson, William Shakespeare, and Edgar Allan Poe, okay, as names. So multiple people can be working on the document at the same time, and changes are just automatically saved. So there's no going back and forth of, having, oh, we got to check this. Okay, somebody changed this, now we got to edit. No, it's all done in one place. And, as a teacher, you can use this to share lesson plans with your grade. And it's very similar to Word, font size, copy paste, align text, double spacing, it's all there. The next tool is Google Slides, and this is very similar to Microsoft PowerPoint, and this is free and it's saved to a cloud. And so this is going to be very useful if you have students who are working as a group to create a presentation. So, more than one student can work on this project, at the same time, and it just automatically saves. Of course, this picture is like of a blank presentation, but it's just like PowerPoint, where when you first create it, you can pick your theme or your design layout. It has font styles, font colors, font size change. It has all of that. And I do want to mention that this Google Slides and Google Docs, as long as you have a Gmail account, this is on there. Like both of these are just part of your apps that come with your Gmail account. Okay, so the next one is Google Forms, and this is going to be a great way to have like a paperless alternative to create and give out surveys, pop quizzes, and tests. So you, as your teacher, as a teacher, you can create pop quizzes or tests online. And here it has right here it says untitled question. So you'll title your question and you'll put your options, because maybe it's multiple choice, or maybe it's paragraph or short answer, or it's check boxes. There's different options to do that. And then what is great about this is that you and the students can get automatic results. So this is going to save time for grading and for the students to have to, wait before they might see their scores. This is also very helpful for you as a teacher, because you can see right here the percentage of the students who got the correct answer and maybe the students that didn't, and so you as a teacher maybe need to go back and reteach some things. It's going to be great for that. The next tool is Google Earth. And so what this does is, this is a tool, it gives the viewer a virtual 3D tour of Earth and like our galaxy. I mean, if you look over here in the first picture on the left, here we have our galaxy. There's some other planets, there's the sun, Earth, there's some stars, the moon. You can take a tour on some of those, you know, that we have, like science has pictures of now. I mean, they have like generated those to, so you can take virtual tours to that. This is going to be a great tool for your social studies and science classes because you can zoom in as far as you want to, like here to whatever country, and then you know, continent, country, city, to where you can get down here and you're looking at a city area, an area of a city. You can take your kids to the moon, have a virtual tour to the moon, because you know we're not going to be able to take a real field trip to the moon, so this is going to be the next best thing. And you can even zoom in into the oceans, and they're going to be able to see the marine life that's in the oceans, and that's really cool. So this is just an awesome way to take field trips without, you know, leaving the classroom. The next tool is Google Sites, and Google Sites is really, I really want to use this for my class because you can publish, like you can create and publish a website for your classroom. So that way, like students, parents, and just other teachers or school employees can see it. And like for me, when I create my Google site, like I'm going to use it as a way to like show a guide for the way I want for the way my classroom works. So like I'm going to put procedures, curriculum, maybe books that my students might like, announcements for parents, photos of things that are happening. I mean, anything you want, like homework assignments, and then over here like a little bio about yourself as a teacher. And the great thing about this is that it comes with templates. So you're not just like on your own with the design. Like it comes with templates to help you create your website page. Okay, here's a reflection.
So this assignment was really interesting, and I really enjoyed doing the research into Google tools on this topic. The only previous knowledge that I had on Google tools was the calculator, because I use calculator a lot in just, you know, my math classes. And Translate, I'd use Google Translate just to like play around with it, not really as like the tool that it's, you know, meant to be used as. And I did use Google Docs though a lot in my coursework and like my undergraduate work, and even in high school, because it was easier for me to type up assignments that way and then just add the teacher's email to it so they could view it, and then they could also leave me comments on the side and like critique my work for me. And then also Google Slides. I use Google Slides a lot because when we had to do group work, I would like create a template and add all the other group members' email to it, and it was so much easier that everybody could work on this presentation at the same time and make whatever edits they wanted to, and we did not have to, you know, create one PowerPoint and then save it and then email it to the rest of the group, and then somebody work on it during this time and then email it back to the rest of us, and we give our comments, and then you had to change, you know, edit what we were talking about, and then you edited some more and then resend it again by email. You know, it was a lot easier not having to do that. I highly plan on using the other tools that I researched during this assignment, like Google Sites. It's an awesome thing. You can create your own classroom website. I think that's awesome because I would love to put a website about my classroom, so that way like future students and the parents of my students can get a glimpse into what, like, you know, me, like Miss Calico's classroom is going to be all about. And I also love that all these tools come with tutorial videos, so it's not just just a link that you click on and then you're kind of in the dark, like, oh, okay, you know, what's next? No, they give you good tutorials and how to use